Joining us here for the 150 years anniversary celebrations of St Louis in Monaghan Town is the President of Ireland, President Mc Aleese, and we're delighted to have her here. President Mc Aleese, what kind of a contribution do you think schools like St Louis make to education in Ireland?
Well, if we go back to the foundation, which is really what we're celebrating in the 150th anniversary, we think of three women coming the direction that everybody else wasn't going. Everybody who could was leaving Ireland at that time, 1859, post-famine Ireland. A dreadful place, a place of disease, of poverty, unimaginable suffering. It was a place that anybody who could got the money together and got out of, and we know that millions left. And so why would three highly educated women who were living in much, much more favourable conditions abroad, why would they come this direction? And they came to bring hope. They came to bring the gift of education. They also, I think, came to bring the gift of hope and love into the place. And when we look at that, particularly over and against our own context at the moment, when we know that we are living through a very, very difficult time, and a particularly difficult time, but we now have 150 years of the benefit of the generosity of women like the Louis sisters, the Mercy, the Presentation, the Dominicans, the Loreto, and all of the others who gathered around education. We think of the Christian Brothers, so many, so many, the Jesuits. I could go on, I'm going to leave so many of them out. That's the awful thing about doing lists. But here were people who invested in us. They invested in our forebears, and through them they invested in us, giving us a love of our country, giving us a love of education and a belief in the power of education to transform our lives. And we who are living through these more difficult times now, I think it would be just worth our while to stop for a moment and think just how much we owe these people who did not do anything for money, for recognition, for shares, for dividends, and yet what they invested in us has paid the richest dividends of all. So it's a joy to be here 150 years on from the foundation of the Louis to say thank you, a personal thank you, because as you said, my own children are Louis children, my own sisters, Louis girls, and I know how very special their charism of care is.
They have done some fantastic work over the 150 years and continue to do fantastic work and develop. What message would you give for the students of today within the St Louis schools?
I think to really live that charism of care and generosity and unselfishness, because the investment that has been made in them by the Louis and the Louis nuns and so many others, those who have made their vocation also this charism, the teachers in the schools, all the other staff in the schools who live the Louis charism. It's a charism that is about teaching us that if we invest in ourselves, if we give 100% when we come to school, and we're certainly going to be given 100% by the school, the mathematics of that over a lifetime are pretty good. I mean, to get to 100% of anything is a very, very good deal indeed. And so to say to the students to really appreciate the extraordinary opportunity, because that is all at the end of the day as school is. It's an opportunity presented to you. And opportunities are only really worthwhile if you use them and use them well. And for 150 years, the St Louis sisters have been investing in creating opportunities for individuals to go the best journey possible into themselves, make themselves the best, the strongest they can be, and then to be strong for themselves, their families, their communities, their workplace, for their country, for this world. But to bring out to that world, not just the gift of the person who's educated in the academic sense, but also, though that is important, and very important, but the person who, well, in the words of Cardinal Newman, knowledge is one thing, virtue is another. And I think that in this place they will have learnt to take both knowledge and virtue along their life's path.
I'm sure they will take your advice on board, and thank you very much again, Your Excellency.
A pleasure, thank you.